We are talking about explosive wide receivers that could go to the moon literally and dominate your fantasy football leagues this year, giving you maximum points, maximum speed, maximum efficiency. This is the episode. I got 5 of them here for you. Last night, I talked about the wide receivers that I'm avoiding in the early rounds. Now I'm going to give you 5 explosive ones. I'm excited to dive in. Big episode. If you are new to the channel, make sure you guys do smash the thumbs up and subscribe. And also, if you're a regular, hit the thumbs up. It takes a fraction of a second. Let's get the message out to everybody. I'm excited to dive wide receivers. Fantasy football is back. I'm going to start off, as you know, with the latest news and notes with Breaking Brad, and then I'm going to get into these wide receivers. If you have not secured 16 rounds, now is the time to do it. Secure the solution, secure the championship, guys, right now. Sleepers, breakouts, auto players drafted each round, and you get a special. It's use code WIN to save 20%, guys, right now. Grab the 16 round draft solution. It'll put you light years ahead of the sheep. Grab it. I'm telling you guys, rankings are done. 16 rounds is the new game changer, okay? So I'm ready to dive in. We're going to start off with the latest news and notes here with Breaking Brad. And where are you, Breaking Brad? And here's the thing, right? With Breaking Brad, we've got a visual for him. So we're going to show you a picture of Breaking Brad. You guys ready to see it? There he is.
We now have breaking news.
Oh, Breaking Brad. There's the picture right there. You got a visual now.
We now have breaking news.
That's the best I could do with him.
We now have breaking news.
All right, we got the picture here, okay? That's the best I can do with him because he doesn't want to come on camera. I've talked to him. We've had multiple discussions. He doesn't want to get on the camera. I'm doing the best I can. That's all I can do. I want to start off here with Travion Henderson. I'm reading something, I'm reading notes here. The Travion Henderson, the rookie, if you don't know, if you guys are just tuning into fantasy football right now as we get into like late June almost, Travion Henderson here is a home run threat every time he touches the ball and offers dynamic playability for the New England Patriots they haven't seen in recent years. Now, apparently there's an expectation that Henderson will split carries with Ramondre Stevenson this season. That's kind of obvious. I think Stevenson is going to get that goal line work, unfortunately, but I like him. I don't really trust the Patriots wide running backs, but I'm doing a lot of best ball, and he's coming off ahead of RJ Harvey, typically in the 4th round. These guys are not escaping. If we're talking best ball strategy or even in year long, they are not escaping the 4th round, unfortunately, are Henderson and RJ Harvey. Understandably so. They're explosive. They're young. They're in a great opportunity to succeed. I think Harvey's in a better situation, but we're going to have to see how it all plays out. But there's some upside there. But I wanted to mention that about RJ Harvey, okay? Curtis Samuel. Well, I can't believe this guy. Buffalo Bills wide receiver Curtis Samuel is locked to make the 53-man roster. I wouldn't sign this guy. He sucks, man. They got Palmer there, who wasn't a threat, which we're going to get to explosive wide receivers. We're going to talk about that. But Curtis Samuel, do not be drafting anybody else but the guy I'm going to mention here in this video if you're looking at the Buffalo Bills this year at the wide receiver situation, okay? Deontay Johnson is a clear favorite to be a starting slot receiver, is what I hear for the Cleveland Browns. Okay, not that exciting. Bryce Young, Carolina Panthers QB, young QB. Improvements. Bryce Young have allowed him to allowed the offense to take a step forward, according to head coach Dave Canales, and he's showing such great mastery of what we're doing that he's allowing us to really push the envelope and do more things. That's a long quote, dude. Canales says, okay, pushing the envelope, looking good. Obviously got to believe in him. If you don't, I don't even know what to tell you. You really, really got to believe in your guy. You got to promote him, right? So let's move on with the news here. Bryce Young, I'm not really sold on him, but we'll have to see. Lamar Jackson said he's not interested in talking about contract situation at the time. Apparently, he may be due for a contract extension in the near future, but as of right now, he wants to continue to be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Good for him, okay? Darius Slayton was one of the standout performers during offseason workouts. I'm not really crazy about Slayton, not drafting him at all. And here's an interesting one. Marvin Mims was used on kick and punt returns this upcoming season and is also expected to have a role in the offense. Marvin Mims, years to wow us, we're not wowed. This is why I'm really high on Pat Bryant as a sleeper because, Mims is not going to do it. And when you hear that he's going to be returning punts, it just makes me feel better about my sleeper that I've got on all my rosters is Pat Bryant for the Denver Broncos. Okay. I also want to talk a little bit of a controversial issue I want to mention here in the news and notes. If you guys know what happened with Henry Ruggs, he had the DUI, the drinking, and he got arrested doing his jail time. Apparently he is set to come out in August out of jail for parole. August 26, 2026, that is. Let me stand corrected. This is what I'm hearing. There's a lot of talk about and a lot of debate on whether he should play in the NFL. Apparently he wants to play in the NFL. A little bit of a touchy subject, obviously, especially for the family that lost their family member due to his recklessness. And maybe he learned and maybe he served enough time, but I don't think he should be back in the NFL, especially after what he did, taking a life that it isn't going to come back. I personally would not be putting him anywhere near that. He doesn't deserve that, man. And the fact that he's only gotten, 4 or 5 years or whatever, it's just not long enough because that person isn't coming back. Have the roles reversed. Had it been a celebrity that got smoked by an average person, would that person be able to continue with the job that they had? I don't know. Like, you got to look at it. Again, I'm not the judge, jury and all that, but you got to take a look at the situation and say, hey man, like this guy took a life, it was a mistake, but at the end of the day, she's not coming back. I think there's a dog involved as well. So, very unfortunate. And let me know in the comments, should Ruggs continue to play after he comes out? And I think he's coming out early again. But you guys, let me know your opinion. I think it's way too early. Not enough time. And he's going to be like 26, 27 when he comes out. So still a ton of time for him to continue to play. So let me know what you guys think. Love to hear the comments below. Okay. So that's it for latest news notes. Let's go through these wide receivers. Again, if you haven't gotten 16 rounds, secure it below, secure the solution, secure the championship. The first wide receiver that is absolutely explosive, the kaboom upside is Malik Nabers, wide receiver number 5, first round. And I got to say, out of all these wide receivers, I would say Malik Nabers has the most upside. Yes, more than Chase, more than Jamar Chase, more than Jefferson, who's got a quarterback who's, a young quarterback in McCarthy, not sure what to expect there. Listen, I like Malik Nabers. I think the talent is there last year, playing with a bunch of different quarterbacks, Jones and other guys. Still 170 targets. When you put it in perspective, that is a lot of targets, right? 109 receptions, 1,204 yards, 7 touchdowns. Looking to improve on that. Great situation, a situation where literally Wan'Dale Robinson is just not going to be a threat. They got Theo Johnson. They got a running back committee. Scatterbo could be something. Rookie Scatterbo drafted in the 4th round. They got Tracy Singletary. Again, I'm not really sold on that running back core. Wan'Dale Robinson and Slayton just aren't threats. I heard Slayton's doing good in camp, but that doesn't really convince me that it's going to dip into the Malik Nabers volume. We got Jackson Dart doing well, so there's some options there. The bottom line is they're going to find a way to get the ball to the best offensive player, and Malik Nabers is it. Again, if you're looking at a wide receiver first round, I think he is by far the safest. Last year, he's coming off in round 3. I told you guys to draft him. I love the upside. Now you don't get the 2-round discount. You got to pay a first-round pick, a late first-round pick, if you want him. 170 target man, wide receiver number 5, should be number 1 based on upside and ceiling. Again, because you got Jamar Chase coming off this astronomical pinnacle year. Regression is imminent. And then you got Malik Nabers, who honestly is in a great situation to thrive with zero competition. He doesn't have a T Higgins to contend with, okay? Next guy, let's go into another explosive wide receiver who I absolutely love. The guy we are talking about is Calvin Ridley. Why do I love him so much? First and foremost, wide receiver 34. Listen to this, guys. This is what I love. 120 targets last year with crappy quarterback play. He is one of those like diva receivers, essentially. Not really diva, but well, you can say that, but he really like demands the ball. He wants the ball. He wants to get, he wants to get possession of the ball, right? And he had 120 targets. When you put that in comparison to other wide receivers this year, Puka played 11 games, 106 targets. We got A.J. Brown playing 13 games, 97 targets. Nico Collins only 99 targets in 12 games. Ladd McConkey, who was coming off in round 2, only 112 targets last year. And then you had Higgins with 109. And you're getting Ridley like round 6 to 7. You're getting like a 5-round discount compared to some of these other guys. Like Higgins coming off end of round 2, early round 3. You got, all these other guys, Puka in round 1, AJ Brown pretty much round 2, Ladd McConkey round 2, Nico round 2, 1 to 2. Like, you've got a guy that's going to be the one. Now, there's a chance that Cam Ward doesn't do as good as he, as advertised, or he's known to be an accurate quarterback, and hopefully he thrives in this offense, but there's a chance he can go to his, these rookie wide receivers, Elik Ayamanor, and other guys that could be the one. But as it sits right now, from what I'm reading, and I could actually I'm going to pull up an article here for you on what I was actually reading, and then you guys can kind of be the judge here, because I really like Calvin Ridley, and I'm going to just read this article here for you, okay? Let's do this. Let's pull it up here. So Calvin Ridley is locked in for the Titans, has new energy about him during the offseason, okay? Titans wide receiver Calvin Ridley had a rough start in Nashville. He played well, notching over 1,000 yards. We just talked about that for the second consecutive year. But Titans didn't have the same amount of success as a team, winning just 3 games and accumulating the number 1 pick in the process. Now, here's where it gets good. The Titans used that pick on Miami quarterback Cam Ward, and that could possibly give Ridley a bit of excitement going into the season. In his second season with the Titans, Ridley seems like he's really bought in. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Ridley wasn't on board last year, team reporter Jim Wyatt wrote, but from the perspective, it seems like he's a bit more eager to work and to embrace helping Ward. And the rookies around him, Ridley should benefit from having more skilled players around him this fall. So they're saying that he's a new energy. He's ready to go. He's ready. And last year, he caught pass from Will Levis and Mason Rudolph, and it was a bit of a disaster. So the point I'm trying to make, everybody, is that there is a huge opportunity for this guy to succeed and get back to, top 10 wide receiver status for Calvin Ridley this year, if fed the ball consistently, which I see happening. Okay, so explosive upside. Number 3 here, I absolutely love. I got a lot of flack for this guy last year, a lot of heat, and I understand why. He was only held. The guy I'm talking about is Keon Coleman, 57 targets, 29 receptions last year, 556 yards, and 4 tutties. It was a bad year, and a big part of that, he was banged up. He had separation issues, just was not in the groove. This year, he's put on some muscle. His speed looks better. Had a couple drops, I heard, at minicamp, but now we're getting into training camp, and he's ready to go. He even said that his performance sucked. Like, he understands. But the beauty of this, there's a couple beautiful things in this. And number 1 is that there's no true wide receiver 1. There's Shakira is not a wide receiver 1. He's a fake it. He's a phony. And he was limited to 100 targets last year, 4 touchdowns, nothing fantastic. Keon Coleman's the alpha, and they didn't draft anybody else. So the opportunity for him to shine is there. Palmer sucks, not a threat. Cooper tried to do his thing last year, not even going to be a thought this year. So it's going to be the Coleman Shakir show. And, everyone was telling you to draft Kincaid last year, round 3. I was like, don't do it, man. Don't do it. We got Coleman round 9 to 10 last year. It was a bust pick, but we didn't spend an early draft capital in a Kincaid like everyone else did. That's why you guys got to get 16 rounds. It's going to save your league. So Keon Coleman was one of the 2 busts that I had last year. I nailed a lot of players from Brian Thomas Jr. to the McConkeys and stuff like that, but a couple missteps, and Keon was one of them. This year, he's going to shine. And for best ball, I'm getting him on all rosters. Tons of ceiling, tons of upside. Keon Coleman is going to solidify the wide receiver 1 role this year. He just had to earn that trust with Allen. Allen, I think he did, okay? So I love Keon Coleman. Next one is Travis Hunter. Very simple. He is the complete package, okay? When I say complete package, we're talking 4.4 speed. He can play offense. He can play defense. I heard he's going to be playing both of those. Red zone instinct is second to none. He could track the ball, create separation amongst defenders, and get the ball for a touchdown. Remarkable catches, runs in, runs out. Amazing 15 touchdowns last year. As I said, red zone monster. And he is the reason that I am fading Brian Thomas Jr. round 1. Now, I loved Brian Thomas Jr. last year. Loved him. I was the guy telling you he's the one. Well, everyone's telling you Christian Kirk ahead of Brian Thomas Jr. And that's why rankings don't work. That's why you got to get 16 rounds. So there you go. I've linked it below. 16 rounds. I'll put a banner here. But Travis Hunter is the complete package. I mean, we're talking 4.4 speed, 6'1", 185 pounds. Amazing separation, quick off the line, fast. He's got it all. It's just a matter of how much Trevor Lawrence is going to rely on him and how much playing time he's going to get. When you're in a situation where you're drafting a wide receiver 1 in round one in Brian Thomas Jr., and they bring in and draft a wide receiver one with a kind of a touch and feel suspect quarterback in Trevor Lawrence, I got question marks for Brian Thomas Jr. this year in first round draft capital. I think that's expensive, knowing the talent that has come in Travis Hunter and the suspect ability of Trevor Lawrence. That being said, I do love Travis Hunter in best ball leagues, and you're going to have to pay around a 6th round ADP if you are looking at best ball for Travis Hunter. Just a fair warning, okay? So I end up missing out on him a lot because I'm grabbing Caleb Johnson a lot of my rounds 5 to 6 turn. So I end up grabbing, Caleb round 5 because I want that true RB1 with no competition. And then I end up missing out on Hunter in a lot of these best ball leagues. So that's a decision you got to make. If you want to draft Caleb around earlier or later and try to get Hunter in best ball, you can go ahead and do that. But in year long, he could shine. If Brian Thomas Jr. gets hurt, you got a true wide receiver one who's amazing, but I don't know if the volume's going to be there, okay? And the final guy who I absolutely love, ultimate explosive, tons of upside, tons of ceiling, is Marvin Harrison Jr. He is the true one. He's only going to go up. I think he had 116 targets last year. That is going up. I know a lot of people are excited about Trey McBride, who got paid and was kind of the one last year. Listen, Marvin Harrison is the better talent. He's the wide receiver one. Again, we're kind of putting our hope and faith into Kyler Murray, which I don't have a lot of hope and faith in that guy. But I do believe in the volume. I do believe in the talent. And they've got no one else there. I'm looking at the depth chart. Who is going to steal volume from him? Wilson? Come on, man. There's nobody else there. He's going to eat. Marvin Harrison Jr., great talent. We're forgetting how good this guy was in college and how highly touted he was last year when we were looking at prospects, right? He was a early 2nd round pick in fantasy. You're getting a 1-round discount coming off round 3 to 4. You're lucky if he falls to 4. And you're getting a true wide receiver one with no committee. You don't have to worry. Like I said, T. Higgins has no business coming off ahead of Marvin Harrison Jr. The fact that he is ludicrous. And he's coming off 12 to 24 picks before him. Like I said, you can get Harrison mid round 3. You're getting Higgins as early round 2. That's just ludicrous. Okay. Marvin Harrison's the guy. Draft him on all rosters if you can get him. He's a true one. That's all I got to say about him. Ultra talented. All right. So when we're looking at these guys, we're looking at explosive. We're looking at upside. We're looking at youth. We're looking at talent. We're looking at to the moon type abilities based on volume performance, minimal people in the depth chart that are going to take away the volume, okay? Again, we got some special cases there, obviously, with Travis Hunter and, Ridley, that some of those rookies can emerge, but the other guys are primed for volume this year, and their talent is second to none. If you're new to the channel, make sure you guys do hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. Make sure you guys are following the Instagram page for news, turn on the bell there, everywhere, and I'll keep the daily content coming to you. All right. I appreciate you. Have a great day. Explosive wide receivers. Have a good day.